Hey guys, Yo Cup of Joe here with another episode of Rank X Session featuring the Ballpoint Splatling Nouveau on Port Mackerel and Shellendorf Institute Clam Blitz. I got a comment on the first episode from somebody wondering what they should be doing as a backliner in Clam Blitz. I totally understand this question because Clam Blitz is really all over the place, so it is pretty hard to know what you should be doing and when. So when neither team has a power clam yet, you just want to control as much space as possible. Right here, this guy's about to get a power clam and he's pushing into my base, so when there is a enemy power clam on the field, you want to be playing defense. However, now that that guy is down, we're sort of back to a more neutral state in the game. I'm going back to trying to control space. Honestly, me dropping down there to pick up those clams was a little bit of a mistake because for that moment there, I was not controlling any space. I was just moving, collecting clams. As a result, I wasn't able to punish the enemies for overextending until it was too late. One of my teammates already died. They didn't have a power clam though, so nothing too bad came of it, and now we're back in this with all four of us alive. My teammate left just enough clams for me to build a power clam. Shouts out to you, my dude. I got a little bit too eager, swam right into that suction bomb. I don't know, sometimes I get tunnel vision. At least I passed the clam forward, but I should have just gone to the left and then forward instead of just straight forward through middle. Here I misread the situation a little bit. I didn't realize that my teammate just died right in front of me, so I went back to get more clams when really I should have been focusing more attention on the basket, trying to fight off the defenders to help us score more clams. That beacon right there is getting such great value right now. We're able to see those enemies crowding around in our map. I'm probably the only one actually checking the map, but that's all we need because I killed that guy who I can see on the map. Every time that I defend this corner here, you're going to see the importance of having good mechanics, especially with the ballpoint splatling. It's very rewarding to have those long-range shots ready to go as you're peeking around that corner. Perfect example right here, if that enemy ballpoint had his long-range shots ready to go as he was peeking around that corner, he probably could have killed me. I let this end zap kill me from the side because my number one focus was just making sure to stop that guy from scoring who was under my basket. If I had no other teammates alive, then I would have preserved my own life and allowed that guy to keep scoring. But because I knew the rest of my team was up, I knew it was safe for me to make that sacrificial play just to stop the enemy from scoring. Right here, I have a choice to make. After this ballpoint pressures me off of that platform, I chose to play very far back and defensively, but I could have played a lot more aggressively to try to kill that ballpoint splatling. Especially here on Port Mackerel with all these corners to work with, you can flank people pretty hard. Now that we have a power clam, I'm going to try to slowly take control of more and more of the map so we can work our way forward. I had armor here, so I could have challenged the ballpoint splatling, but I'm a scaredy cat, so instead I make this other play where I sneak forward and catch him by surprise. Still, just slowly working our way forward here, and look at this guy on the left, he's about to get completely obliterated. This is why you gotta be really careful on this map, because as soon as you take another step forward, you might be walking into the line of sight of every enemy. Should have thrown my rain by now to make it harder on the defenders, but I didn't. I don't know what to say for myself. I have a tendency to forget to use it, especially if I earn it while I'm in the heat of battle. We still are not able to match the score that our enemies have, so we still got some work to do. And we also got to make sure that we defend, because we don't want to let the enemies score even more points. So this is where things get pretty tricky in Clam Blitz. If you are playing backline in a situation where you know that your team needs to defend, but they also need to be offensive, then you just gotta be defensive. As the backliner, it's your job to be that final line of defense and be that insurance policy against the enemies getting into your base and doing some shenanigans to score more points. It's a super delicate balance though, because as soon as your squid senses tell you that, okay, nobody's trying to push into my base, then you need to switch gears and start playing aggressively to help your team push up. Check this out right here. Just use every little bit of cover that the game gives you. That tiny little lump there saved my life, allowing me to kill that ballpoint who jumped in, pressure that other guy who jumped in, all based off that little tiny play I made just to stay alive. I'm using this corner peeking strategy again, got my long range shots ready to go, but I did not wait for him to get close enough. If he had gotten closer, then I probably would have had a better chance of catching him off guard. Either way, these enemies just keep trickling in one at a time, allowing themselves to go down very easy, so my team is able to just lock them out of their own clam basket area, and we got a KO. Here we go on game number 2 on the very same map, Port Mackerel. I love playing the ballpoint on this map because all those corners are just super duper fun to play with and just mess with people's heads. I like having a little beacon buddy right there, you know, just in case. If we get wiped out somehow, then we can jump right back in to defend our basket. This beautiful splat bomb by my teammate gives me the turf I need to substrafe out of there, then use some of my own fancy footwork to hide behind the ink rail and survive that Cherry H3's wrath. They are trying really hard to push in here very early, and I think they would have been successful if they had a little bit better coordination. The Octobrush and the N-Zap are about to try to fall back, but they still have one teammate still right here under my basket, and if they had teamed up, they might have been able to make something happen. These enemies are still playing really aggressively, keeping up the pressure, so good job to them. But once again, these aggressive plays that they're making need to be happening together at the same time. Me and my teammate were focusing on that Ultra Stamp so that Cherry H3 could have used that moment to pick one of us off. I'm making a mistake here starting off this push by going a little too far, a little too fast, allowing myself to get shot in the back. Not a huge deal though, because my team is totally in control of the map right now, so we just clean up that guy who killed me and start scoring. The LZ wasn't too hot here. I could have jumped in and helped my team control the enemy clam basket area, but I was a little bit scared because you never want to let your team get wiped out at the end of a push, because then the enemy just gets to do their own counter push, which is what happened. The rest of my team did get wiped out. So I just take that position there where I can sneak attack the enemies as they try to get their counter push off. So just gotta play a little bit of defense here. The enemy team did get their pity clam, so we don't want to let any sneaky jump-ins happen right underneath our basket. I did not hear that suction bomb land right next to me, so it took me out. Still an enemy power clam on the map, so I gotta jump back in here quick. Me and my teammate both jump in because we do not want to lose any points here. I'm putting all my focus here on the right lane because this is the main way for the enemies to push to our clam basket, but I completely missed the fact that the power clam just went around me. Making crazy solo pushes like that do work to open up the basket, but unless your team is in position to follow up, you're not going to get any more points, and now we got a pity clam. Yippee. I should have recognized the fact that my team is pretty much ready to push into the enemy clam basket, so I could have gone back and picked up that pity clam. I didn't though, so instead I have to go pick up some regular peasant clams off the floor, getting my hands dirty. This rain would have been way more effective if I had been in position to use it when the rest of my team was actually here under the clam basket, but hey, at least it kind of actually hid my swimming from the enemies, so they didn't see me coming straight for the basket. And I can't believe I didn't realize this earlier, but the Octobrush disconnected, so yeah, it's pretty much a wrap for this team already. Still trying super duper hard, looking at the map, trying to land some inkball shots on people as they try to move around this map. I'm just going to skip ahead to the final game-winning point. Boom. Easy mode with a disconnect. Next match is on Port Mackerel again. I swear, there is one Shellendorf Institute game in this episode. We're just going to show the beginning of this match, though. There's just a real quick thing I want to show you. So in those previous matches, I was noticing that people were actually having pretty decent success with those really hyper-aggressive opening plays. So here I'm going to try that out myself. There's just one little mistake I make that causes this not to work out. It's right there. I had a corner to work with right there, so I could have danced around a lot more to try to stay alive, but I didn't because I pushed too far forward. Here we go, Clam Blitz on the new Shellendorf Institute with a slightly lower roof. The side areas are changed up a little bit, and the clam basket, the position is moved slightly so that you cannot throw a power clam in from the roof. You can jump off the roof and make it in, but you can't stay standing on the roof and toss a power clam into the enemy basket. While fighting off this brush, I lose sight of the charger, and what the heck? It's a squiffer. Didn't see that coming. I do not pay enough attention to the starting screen where you can see the enemy weapons. But if I had, then maybe I would have seen that maneuver coming. No idea how this brush survived. I hit him twice. I don't know. I guess my Clash Blaster just wasn't hitting him. I decide to climb up to the roof, but look at that middle area. It's totally covered in yellow ink. I should have stayed down below, right in front of our basket, to try to paint that up. I didn't, so these clams are able to just swim right up to our base. We do hold them off, but the defense isn't perfect. So after I respawn, you are going to see us pull off a defense. I get a splat, but I think the spot I chose to defend from is not quite right. I went a little bit too far forward. I think if I defended from a little bit further back, then I could have actually stopped that power clam from going into our basket. I want to backtrack a little bit to what I was talking about at the very beginning of the video, how when neither team has a power clam, you just want to control as much space as possible as a backliner. The reason why you want to control space, the more turf that your team has, the more clam spawn locations that will be under your team's control. So by holding on to more of the map than the enemy team, over time you will farm more clams than the enemy. Right here, I notice a baller coming up to my base, but I should have realized that that baller wasn't the only enemy, so it was totally not safe for me to just jump out in front of that baller to try to prevent it from getting up to our basket. So right here in the middle, right directly behind our basket, is a pretty nice place to defend from. You've got a nice, you have an angle on that entire area, but your vision is kind of blocked by the basket, so it's pretty balanced in that way. I really like that design choice by Nintendo. They could have made it so that the basket is less obtrusive, but they purposely made it so, you know, it would get in the way, so it's a little bit more challenging to defend. Check this out, right here. Butterfingers! My bad, guys. That would have been the lead, too. Oh well, still getting used to the new Shellendorf. Going back once again to that advice about controlling space, one important note is that in order to be controlling space as a backliner, you gotta be alive. So it's really important not to die, especially in Clam Blitz, because you want to be controlling as much space as possible for as much time as possible in the game. Oh man, here they go, pushing our basket again. Applying a lot of pressure here, but at least I'm defending from better positions as the game goes on. Got pushed back by that baller explosion. I don't know if there's a name for when that happens, but I think we should call it splat boosting. Using that special Clam Blitz lump once again to give myself some cover, make myself a more tricky target to hit. This is it, right here. This is our big chance. Our big chance to get some nice, good points. Get ourselves back into this game. Got the Ultra Stamp. Got my Rain coming out. We have 2 balls, but we still have not scored. Okay, we did score. There we go. But, it doesn't work out. I knew I was toast from that Octo Brush, so I just chucked that Hail Mary towards my teammate, but we didn't score that clam. And now things are looking pretty grim for blue team here. It's pretty tough to dig yourself out of a hole like this. Step 1 would be to take an enemy torpedo like a champ. Step 2 would be to either get a big wipe or just make sure that the opponents are in spots where they cannot stop you from collecting more clams. And then you also got to get somebody up to the enemy clam basket so that we can break it open, which is what happened. We actually managed to pull that one off pretty miraculously. I feel like I had nothing to do with that, but hey, at least I was here to witness it and tell you how it happened. I guess in the end, the way it worked out was, you know, I was like bait. The enemies were focusing on me, giving the rest of my team a chance to open up that basket. Look at that. I threw 1 clam in there. And my dead body just dropped a whole bunch of extra clams for... Look at that, my teammate threw one of those dead body clams from off me. I helped. Okay, it's not over yet. We gotta do one last defense, and this is it right here. This is the difference between great backlines, like people like Kaji, Brian, Latias. They are able to get clutch kills like this when they really have to. I didn't. That power clam was perfectly within my range. I could have killed him, but I couldn't clutch it out. I couldn't predict his movement, and that's Not the only reason why we lost. I also got flanked by that Splattershot who just swam right up to me, and I didn't notice him swim up to me because I was so focused down below on that kill that I did not get. So basically, there's a lot of positional things and like decisions that you can make that don't really take a lot of mechanical skill to pull off. Things like just controlling space to collect more clams, being defensive when the enemy has a power clam. These are just really easy things that you can do to help yourself win more games, but you know, if you want to be the best, then you gotta be clutch. I'm not that clutch. I gotta work on that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this Rank X session. I feel really proud of this one. I feel like these were actually some useful tips, even if you're a much higher level player. So yeah, if you enjoyed what you saw here today, don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel. I hope you have a super fresh one out there. Thanks for watching. See ya!